Okay, we are joining a trot session. I wanted to give a quick demonstration of the different types of ground driving, or ground work, excuse me. And this first one is called lunging. It's traditional lunging. Now I've started the lunge line on the bottom, and it's on a coupler attached to the bit. So when you're first starting, if you don't have a lunging cavesson, you can buy or make a coupler pretty cheap. You can also use a rope halter, and then last would be a nylon halter. But notice how with this, it pulls his chin under, which causes his head to tilt, and he's counterbent. Who? Good boy. Okay. So I'm gonna come. Go back. You're okay, buddy. I'm gonna come and I'm gonna move this to the top part on the lunging cavesson. I highly recommend owning a lunging cavesson. You can get inexpensive nylon ones. I got this one in France because I couldn't find a pony size, nice quality leather one. It's still a little big in the brow band, but it's the best I've found. And anyway, enough of that. Okay, let's get back out there. Good boy. Good job. So I'm gonna let him walk, or not walk, warm up. So when I first start working my ponies, I give them some time in the beginning to what I call get the giggles out. If they want to canter around, if they want to buck, they're allowed to. As long as they don't kick at me or come at me, I don't really care what they do. It's their time. It's like the time between the first and second bell in high school. Kids are in school, but they're not really in their learning brain yet. And you can see he's actually settling in pretty quickly. He likes his work. And walk, move out. Good boy. You're largely dependent on your voice for changes in gaits. If they don't listen, you end up having to tug on their face. So that's one of the downfalls of traditional lunging. To change directions, I switch hands with my rope and my whip. Easy, buddy. And then I give them a little tug. Change directions, please. Good boy. Good job. Good boy. When we're lunging or double lunging, we should be behind the line of movement, which is the girth. And walk, walk, walk. Good boy. And who? Good boy. All right, nope, no, not yet. So now we are gonna switch and demonstrate double lunging and the difference. So I run my lines through either the lowest ring on a surcingle or the tug loops on a driving saddle. This saddle is nylon and this is cloth. So if you run cloth through cloth, you can cause a fire or cause both of them to fray. So if you're going to use cloth on cloth, you need to run it through some kind of ring. And then you'll notice that when I am changing from lunging to the double lunging, I clip one rein first before I remove my other line. And that comes up. So now this is going to give us a little more control over a speed and bend. All right. Get up there. Our neighbor is doing some kind of machinery work. Good boy. Good boy, that track. Okay, and trot. Trot. Good boy. Good boy. And walk. Walk on. Good boy. Good boy. He has a habit of just stopping when you ask him to transition down. So now for changing directions for double lunging, we have to pass behind them. So I take them and I cut them through the circle. Now you need to make sure that you maintain your bit contact or you'll twist yourself up. Good boy. I go across the circle and then out the other side. Now I like to connect my lines like this. Notice that the apex is not where the lines connect. And if you're doing a lot of direction changes, it's easier to have your hand slide over something flat. So that's why I did what I did. Okay, trot. Good boy. Good job. And walk. Hoo. So now the nice thing with double lunging is you can introduce rein back. 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 Good boy. Back. 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 Good boy. Good job. Now to switch from double lunging, who? Double lunging, the way I make my transition with a new horse is like this. So I've taught them, I've gone from lunging, graduated to double lunging. Now I'm going to shorten my distance to the horse. And what I'm going to do is we're going to do more direction changes. Good boy. And now when I do my direction changes, make sure you don't collapse your outside. You got to maintain your outside bit contact. But now, walk on. I'm changing directions, but I'm spending more time behind him. Good boy. Till I've changed directions in my double lunge. Good boy. Walk on, Trek. And so then again, I'm going to change directions, but I'm going to spend more time behind him. And this is a great way to get the horses used to spending time in front of you. And then if they show any anxiety, then you pull them out of the straight line. But you build the number of steps that you do until, who? Good boy. Stand. You're able to move into a ground driving position. And for me, that is about a dressage or a driving whip away from the pony's butt. What size driving whip? What size pony? It really, it depends on that. You know, the bigger the pony, the bigger your whip, the bigger the distance. It makes sense. Stand still, buddy. So now, if you're transitioning and you're trying to teach your horses all this step at once, you continue to use your lunge whip. See how I've gathered my reins. Mr. Fussy, this is his first workout for the day, so he's a little ready to go. Walk. And now we're ground driving. And this is great for exposing them to the things that you're not sure how they're going to handle when you're in a cart or under saddle. You're not sure how they're going to be going down the road and going by a garbage can. ground drive them by it. And then that way you don't have to fall off a horse or to lose control of a cart, because those don't exist. Notice when I change directions, I move inside of him a little bit. Good boy. I am using a rubber mullen mouth bit. He really likes it. He's happily working on it. Oh boy. Ground driving is super boring for him. He is over it unless we're doing something exciting. We don't usually do much ground driving in the arena unless it's warming up for something more fun. When we ground drive now, we're out on the property because we want to also introduce obstacles. Oh boy. Who? And now we're going to progress up to long lining. Oh, sorry, buddy. Who? Nope. Who? Just stand. You're fine. I know, Mommy. That was mean. That was mean of Mommy. Oh, mean Mama. So we're going to move from the lower ring, and you can use the lower ring on your surcingle or through your tug or shaft loops. Nope, stand still, bud. Good boy. Stand there. Now usually with long lining, I don't use these because they're so super long, but for this demonstration, I'm not going to change equipment because you don't really need to. You can make do with what you have on hand. You know, it is ideal to have multiple different lengths. Stand still, buddy. Stand. Stand still. Good boy. Good job. All right. So we go. Good boy. Oh. The lunge whip's a little long for this, so I'm going to hold it a little mid-shaft. And so for this, I'm trying to, hey, thank you. We're trying to improve our collected trot. Good boy. Easy, easy. Good boy. Yeah. Walk. Okay. So we did make a change to the equipment. Those lines were just way too long and they're way too slippery for what I'm trying to do. And I also got the shorter whip. So for things like this is where I'm working on the quality of the trot and improving the bend in hand. Like I mentioned in my other video about long lining, what I want to do is I want him to lift his front end first. You know, tap his, notice that when I touched his withers, he sort of steps up on his tippy toes a little bit. And this allows him to better reach under with his back end if his front end is up. Now, because he's still new at this, we can't take a whole bunch of collected trot steps before we fall apart, but that's okay. It just starts with 1 or 2 steps at a time. Now you can do 2 hands. I like to do one-handed like this, where I'm half halting by rotating my hand, good boy. And then, good boy. Good boy. You're okay. Hey. Good job. All right. Easy, buddy. Easy. Let's go for straight. Easy, easy, and walk. So ideally, we want to ask for the walk before the quality of the trot breaks down, like it did for me. Easy. So if you take the whip in the backhand, hey, easy, Yeah, let me come up forward a little bit. Here we go. then I can touch both his withers and his hocks, which is where I want him to pick up next. Oh, stop. And trot, trot, trot. Easy, easy. Now I need to make sure I release his head. Easy, easy. I don't want him behind the vertical. Easy, easy. No. Easy. He's just learning metronome clicking. Come on, Trek. Easy. No. Okay. Easy, you're okay. There you go, you got it. Good boy. Good boy. And walk. Good boy. And then also, so for collection work, like I just showed, but then I also use it for bending exercises in hand. And this is great for also working on your bit contact. Move around, good boy. Making sure you're maintaining your bit contact. Good boy. Trot. Trot, trot. Good boy. Easy. There you go. I try to use these two cones as a anchor point. And then, good boy. And then these two. Oop. That was bad on Mommy's part. I won't try to force it. Come around and reset up on this one. Come on. There you go. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Easy. Good boy. And walk. Walk on. See, there's that famous immediate stop. Good boy. So there's the difference between lunging, double lunging, ground driving, and long lining. Ooh. Good boy.